It's Kiln Fire Day, y'all!
You and me, babe. You and me, babe. There's just nothing else like you.
We're ready to go. So, I got the kiln on. I generally do maintenance stuff on kiln days because I have to babysit the kiln and because I don't know why, but I can't keep my head focused on kiln days. So I got some reclaimed clay that came off the plaster this morning, and it needs to be slam wedged. And so we'll probably do that. Oh, I totally forgot to sign all my fairy houses. Are you kidding me? Herbert's falling down on the job. You gotta remind me of these things, Herbert. So gotta do that. These little beauties were priority for this kiln load. I actually have somebody who said, I want to buy these. And they didn't get in the kiln load. Crazy nuts. And after all of the kiln loading mess and unloading and loading and unloading and rearranging mess that happened yesterday, I got to the top shelf. I was just put it in there, fill the space, and shut the lid. So gonna reclaim some clay today, get that done. I've got some stuff that that's low fire clay that's left over from years and years ago. And then we can work on my fairy houses. And Herbert, we can get started. So, there you go. Whew. Next, we're gonna let that rest. We're gonna let it rest for a minute. Alrighty. I put all of my circular fairy houses underneath plastic and they still dried out too much. So, I highly do not recommend this course of actions. But, I am going to dunk them in water. I am going to dunk them in water because I want to work on them today. I do not want to wait for them to get wet in the wet box, nor do I have enough room for all of them in the wet box. I probably have enough room in the wet box, but I don't want to wait. So unless you are willing to sacrifice your pot completely, I do not recommend this course of action. So, but this is not a how-to channel by any stretch of the imagination. So, for your entertainment purposes, I am now going to dunk my pots, my dry pots, in water. We're gonna see if any of these tools, because this is seriously hard clay now. Now, it's not bone dry, but it really, I should not be carving on it at this point. But I do want them to have my little initials. So that people will know Herbert made it. Yay! Has a little butterfly and it has my name. Yay! Herbert is really upset with me right now because he did such a great job and then I went and messed it all up. That's not entirely true. That's just his opinion of me. So we talked about how in the beginning, I was hopeful that we would get half of what I had originally made. And that would be 4 out of 8, because I had originally, well, 1 died in the process of making. So now we have 7 here. And a window came off of this one. So it may still be wet enough to put that window back on it. And it may not be. We're just gonna have to try it. So if it doesn't get back on, for whatever reason, then that puts us down to 6, which is to be expected. 6 out of 8 is still actually quite acceptable, right? 6 out of 8. So, you know, I didn't sign him. I didn't even get him signed. Are you kidding me? There we go. Okay, so paper clay should do this one just fine. Paper clay should do that one just fine. This one, see how he is lifting up on that one side? I thought he had enough, but he really doesn't. He's just rocking back and forth. I should have put some feet on him, but I didn't. So we've got to deal with that one way or the other. This one's not bothering me so much. This one lifted. You see, this is bone dry and this is not. But this one just dried out too fast. And there's a couple of different things I can try, but there's no guarantees. So if this one ends up, then that leaves 4 that are actually ready to go into the bisque kiln. So at this point, I'm still on point for my goal of having half of them make it through the process. But the reason that Herbert is so angry with me right now is this right here. I was being very, very careful, cleaning up the bottom, and I don't know how it happened or if it was just that fragile, but that piece right there came off of this right here. And it just makes me sick. So, rehydrating paper clay is the next task. It will take care of that. It will leave a mark because this has texture on it, and it will cover up some of that texture. That being said, you know, the glaze, depending on what glaze I put on it, could change the texture too. So that is the nature of working with fragile things. Herbert's drowning his sorrows in a round fairy house while the paper clay rehydrates. Herbert has definitely not forgiven me yet for messing up his favorite fairy house. I have no favorites. Herbert, on the other hand, he's quite a bit more biased than I am. But he's not talking to me right now. What can you do? Put some more together. It's okay. Just make another one. That's the problem with one-of-a-kind things. I can make another one, but it's not going to be the same. So these are grape leaves. I've never played with grape leaves before. Herbert's getting a little better. He still hasn't fully forgiven me yet for what I did to the other fairy house. But it's really hard to stay mad at somebody when they do this. I wasn't sure how round fairy houses would turn out, but oh my gosh, do I love it! And my creative brain is going nuts. Okay, we're going to do the window first. I have actually put together fixed pots that were already fired. With paper clay before. It is pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. You should be good. He has a window, ladies and gentlemen. He has a window. Fixed. Okay. I broke it. I broke it, Tim.
The flower?
Yeah.
How?
Being me.
Touching it too much?
I forgot to sign them. So I had it upside down. I was about to sign it.
Doesn't need to be signed. You can paint it on and sign it later.
Yeah. Herbert's not talking to me.
I want to kiss you.
I need a kissy. You make everything better.
I am having a good day.
I'm so glad.
I am being worthless on purpose.
I love you.
I love you.
Superman. Nothing else to say. Just Superman. Alright. I think at this point, if I keep messing with it, I'm just gonna make it worse. Are you speaking to me yet, Herbert? He's warming up. It's warming up. Okay, so I got this little guy and I want to put some feet on him. And I was thinking, since I had the paper clay out, maybe if I did it with paper clay, it would, I don't know, attach better. Okay, so 3 feet. Fairy house. Now he's up off the ground. He's level. So I just gotta figure out how to attach that without breaking the whole mess. It's been a challenging day. Three little flower feet! Like that. I like it. I love you. I will love you and squeeze you and hug you and name you George. And it's the hugging and the squeezing and the loving that makes me break you them. I just... I feel very bold in a china closet-y today. Bull china closet. Actually broke this off earlier and I put it back together with paper clay, but I didn't show it because I just couldn't handle it. Bull china closet. I am so done for the day. And Herbert is tired and still upset with me. So I got the feet trimmed on the 2 mugs that I have. I got the other leaves that had already been printed taken care of, or I ditched them because they weren't working for the fairy houses. Gosh, what else? And now what I need to do is glaze things that have to be painted with glaze and then I'm probably gonna let Tim take me out to eat. But it just kind of seems like one of those days, you know? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So, Herbert and I have been trying to look on the bright side of things today. But when it gets right down to it, it's been kind of a hard day. Kiln didn't fire. Something got knocked off when we changed the relay in it last week, or we're down an element, but it was on for 8 hours. Really, it's never taken longer than like 6 hours, and it was on for 8 hours, and you can tell how hot it is by the temperature, by the color. When you look in the peephole, by the color of the orange in the peephole, you can tell that it's getting close or that it's not progressing, and it got to one. It just stopped progressing, which is an element issue. So we either knocked one of the connections completely off, but I thought that if you did that, then none of the elements would come on. The whole kiln would just shut down. But that, coupled with breaking 3 of my fairy houses, plus breaking 1 of my newly made fairy houses, it's been a hard day. Sometimes you just have hard days. But if you never had a hard day, you'd never have a good day either. Right, Herbert? Herbert says you've had worse days.